Hi Libra, welcome to Pure Tarot. This is exceptional. I was attempting to do the Aries reading and go through the rounds as usual from Aries through Pisces. And I just felt compelled to start with you. So here we are, and I'm doing this obviously under the beams of the full moon, which will occur in about a day. And we're going to capture some of that beautiful bright light and some of those incredible aspects. The moon being on one side while all the rest of the planets are on the other side of the zodiac. So there's quite a push and pull, but in a good sense. I don't know. It's a real full moon, right? If the moon is isolated on one side of the chart, then it's kind of emphasizing its importance. So I don't know how that, plays out in your own chart and how those transits affect your own natal chart. You should probably take a quick peek. But Libra, this is dedicated to you. It's sort of a love reading, but I don't tend to necessarily focus on that. So I'd rather let the cards decide what they want to talk about. But I do have two different decks here, so we can explore two sides of a situation or of a situationship, relationship. Anything that you feel would work out really well with the two sides of your scale. So I'm starting with this sort of oracle deck. I forget what it is, but it's pretty well known. Forget the name, I mean. It's irrelevant at this point. I'm not going to pull out the box. This will be sort of overarching energy. Something to get us started, to get this off the ground. And you got probably one of the best cards, in my opinion, in this deck. It's a yes. So Libra, if you had any doubts about anything, you're getting a resounding yes from the universe, from source. If you were waiting for an answer, you got a yes. However this applies for you. I'm gonna start with the left side. I have to admit, I don't necessarily want to gear it towards love, so I don't want to play it out as two sides of necessarily as being two different people, like you and the other or whatever. I think it's more important that we sort of keep it open. That one flipped on the horizontal, so let's just go ahead with, oh nice, I turned it up right. So it's the Eight of Pentacles. I'm going to get a few cards on each side and the Fool. Wow. I looked at the bottom of the deck, so I'm going to leave it out. We have the Five of Pentacles. I'm going to draw some cards here as well. That way we get a full picture. I'm only going to, sometimes I start analyzing what I see on the table, but I'm going to wait until these come out. If they ever want to. Interesting. I'm getting a wait. So I'm actually gonna put this back here. I might want to draw some more. So that Eight of Pentacles and the Fool, that's a resounding yes all in itself, right? That's probably an answer to something about work, primarily, or an endeavor, right? Something that you would put your heart and soul into. Maybe a craft, so it could be a hobby as well, but something that you really, really love doing, that you're, I'd say, extremely skilled at. something that makes you enthusiastic and, you know, really want to, how can I say, take it on, right? There's a lot of sort of effervescence I sense on this card about, you know, sitting down. You might not have a job where you sit down all the time, but it's just the idea that you're going to carve the time and actually put in the time to, and the efforts to create something. And that's pretty important here with the Fool, because it is creative, it is brand new, it has this sort of it hasn't been done the way you do it before. It's unique to you in that sense. It's also tailored to you. I get I get that from like this sort of person working, and I see all the the fashion, the garment here, and I'm like, okay, this is tailorship. Like it feels like that. That doesn't necessarily mean it's fashion. I just mean it's whatever you're doing is tailored to you. I feel like drawing maybe. So I'm not going to forget that you had the 5 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So you probably had some sad news recently as a possibility that have, for some reason, I don't sense any connection necessarily with that, but maybe overall it does. You would know. But definitely something very distinct than what I see here, right? We have the 8 of Wands in reverse. So there's no communication. You're keeping to yourself. You're keeping extremely quiet. And now we have the Knight of Cups in reverse and the Hanged Man. Yeah, you're really choosing to stay quiet. I think you wish to take a time out for reflection. You're definitely not making any moves. Obviously, it could pertain to a romantic situation, but like I said, I'm not really sure I want to do this as a love reading, as in, you know what I mean? Like, let's just look at it differently. I mean, the first cards already spoke of something else, so the one thing I'm going to say about this card, though, in reverse, the Knight of Cups, is that it could be you have or you had a lot of love for someone, right? And there's no more communication with this person, and it leaves you in limbo. Puts you in a state of, you know those, it's really interesting. I've seen this in some movies, like a long time ago, but like, you know, like this sort of rope with it's placed and it's hidden on the ground in let's say in a forest or like in a jungle, and if you step, it actually grabs you and it pulls you up, you know, like it hangs you, like that's how you're being caught. So it feels like you've been trapped, and not trapped necessarily confined, although obviously you can't go anywhere once you're trapped, but it's much more, is it called a booby trap, like in those war movies in the Vietnam, or I don't know where I saw that, but I just see this thing where, you know, you're being caught. Could have been like caught off guard, so this would be a sudden movement and you're suddenly hung and in limbo. Could be quite uncomfortable. It might pertain to the 5 of Cups that we saw before, right? Sad news that basically leave you speechless. sad news about, like I said, someone you might have loved or love very much. And this whole situation is what has you caught by surprise. Although it's not a tower energy, it's just this image that I had about being suddenly trapped in a situation that I feel you didn't see coming. And that puts you in limbo. So I'm not going to look at the bottom of the deck because I shuffled after I've pulled those last cards. I'm going to leave it as is. We're going to look on this side what comes up. Like I said, I'm unsure if it's going to pursue the story, clarify it, or if it's going to start speaking about someone else. There's some jumpy cards. They're just not flying out. Now there's a pile, so I'm actually going to go with the pile, even if it's quite a few. Okay, 4 cards. That's perfect. So we have the 6 of Pentacles. Let me show you these cards. 6 of Pentacles. The 8 of Cups in reverse. Sorry, that was a little fast. 7 of Wands in reverse. And the Fool in reverse. That's really interesting. To have the Fool in reverse on the other side. Let me see here. It's a really interesting energy. I'm trying to see if it has anything to do with the Yes card here. The Yes was very strong on this particular section where there's something that you're working on that is very creative and unique to you, tailored to you, which makes you want to put in the work and really makes you feel spunky and bubbly inside when you sit down to do that. Maybe these 2 first cards, so the 6 of Pentacles with the 8 of Cups in reverse here, would also be the Yes on this side. So I sense you've been given some money, not a whole lot, but there's money. And being the 6 of Pentacles, it feels like a steady flow of money. It could come from this particular creative endeavor. The resounding yes is some form of success within that endeavor. And money is trickling in slowly but surely. Like, what I like is that it's even, it's steady. So there's obviously a possibility that it'll grow, but at least there's no huge ups and downs, I feel. It's something is hitting like sort of a nice, how do you say, not just a groove, but like a, I don't know. The word is eluding me, doesn't matter. And then here, this 8 of Cups in reverse. You're not you're not wanting to walk away from this endeavor and this money that is coming in. Let me look at this guy. It's a funny 8 of Cups. I want you to see his upright. It's someone with a book, right? He's very serious. It's interesting. I feel like you're tapping into a form of knowledge. It feels like you've studied a lot. I sense that the hard work you've put in the past, these are 2 8s, by the way, right? Double 8s, that's why I'm linking them as well. So just to be clear here, I'm basically reading this as all of you, almost like both sides clarifying one another or just shedding more light. So I'm just using different decks, and I'm not gonna make it as, especially when the cards are not screaming, oh, this is two different people, right? So I was talking about the double eight. So as much as you've put in effort here, yeah, I feel that you've studied for this. So you've acquired knowledge, and you probably also translate knowledge. I sense you want to give back as well. Sharing this knowledge is a way of giving back. Maybe it has to do with, an apprenticeship. Maybe you're the mentor and you're teaching someone or others as one possibility. It could be vice versa. Maybe you're still in a mentee position, but you have someone, giving you actually sharing with you their knowledge. And so you're really wanting to stick with it, right? You're really wanting to stay in this vibe here, especially like this row is really clear in terms of one thing happening. And I think the two last cards I've pulled, so the Seven of Wands with the Fool in reverse, both in reverse, right? I think are going to maybe describe the bottom row here, which was the different situation. I'm almost tempted to go back and retrieve the Five of Cups, but I'm not. We know it showed up. It's really funny. It's almost like I sense it's two different things. But let's say it's not, okay? Just wanted you to pay attention that you do have the Fool upright up here, and then you have the Fool in reverse down here. And so it's almost like two sides here. If I was to draw a line, this is like there are two sides to this coin kind of thing. So it's interesting because instead of being two sides left and right with the two different decks, it's showing up as up and down, right? It's really, really interesting. So what it tells me is that this is mostly like an outwardly exteriorized situation. And this one here at the bottom would be like internalized and like more deeper into your psyche, or something that is more private versus maybe more social and exteriorized up here. So let's with that established let's look at that Seven of Wands in reverse. If this is a centaur, right? But it could also be, right, Chiron. Chiron was a centaur. So the wounded healer of the zodiac. I feel like if you were to look at your chart, maybe something with Chiron is hitting you at the moment. I say that because it's in reverse, saying it's hitting you, right? It's almost like it feels like this thing about you got caught like by surprise, and I know there's no tower, and this is all intuitive. It really comes from that image I got from that particular booby trap in the jungle. Um, Look at this fool, right? He's like hunched, and he's really playing the fool here, and he's got really nothing in common with the one from the Rider-Waite, right? Yet he's in reverse here, so it's like he's just as crooked or like as upside down as as the Hanged Man, right? He feels I guess it's the position, the fact that he's hunched. It's almost like you, and this beautiful centaur that's in reverse, right? It really feels like all the bottom cards are reversed, by the way. It's really sorry, not the Hangman, but he's hanging in reverse, so it's really interesting. There's something about being thrown upside down, like a, in French we say volte-face, you know, like something that just flips on you. Like something like the rug is being pulled under your feet, or like I said, and it's leaving you sort of, I don't want to say handicapped, but it's like obviously wounded, but it's more like crooked. It's more like hunched, and like it feels like a little bit painful, but it's almost like physical, right? I'm seeing like people that have scoliosis. I'm sensing you have a lot of, I'm sensing back pain from emotional burdens, right? Like some sort of, I don't think you've hurt yourself necessarily physically, but I think you have, how do you say, psychosomatic symptoms that are translating a huge emotional surprise, like a sudden stop in communication, right? A sudden, this is like a dead end, right? This is like hitting a wall, like if Chiron is involved, right? I feel you'll gain a lot of, obviously, wisdom through this experience. But it's really not comfortable. This centaur is really intriguing me. I wonder if there's something about Sagittarius being the centaur of the zodiac as well, right? So something about Chiron, something about Sagittarius. I'm not really picking up why, besides wanting to highlight those two things for you. I have no idea if there's any resonance in your chart about that, but maybe in someone else's chart that you're interacting with. if it was, like I said, someone you stopped speaking to that you did love, you might still love them, by the way. I just don't feel like okay, let me put it this way. It's coming through as it's gonna affect the lightness, like the all the bubbliness I was sensing here. This side here at the bottom, like the flip, the underworld side here. These cards in the bottom row, they feel very weighty. And it feels like they're going to drag you. And I'm not saying they're going to impede you totally. I'm just saying they have this weighing effect. And so it has the, as much as you got, lifted off the ground by being caught in this trap, right? So you were lifted off the ground. It also feels with the other cards like almost like if there's another type of trap where you fall into a hole, right? It feels like that. And so these two cards for me are speaking of a lack of success to a degree, like some sort of it's hard to describe. It feels like postponement. It feels like a hurdle, like an obstacle in your course, right? It feels undermining. I'm gonna draw a card. I don't know why I'm feeling. I want to draw a card out of this deck on these two cards here, on the Seven of Wands in reverse and on the Fool in reverse. I want to know what the undermining energy. I mean, most of these cards are positive, right? It's going to be a funny mix, but I'm still tempted to see either what hinders you or helps you out here. This one. Oh, wow. That is amazing. Forgiveness. That is so amazing, especially with the Chiron reference. Because that healing through Chiron or any placements in Sagittarius you might have that I'm picking up on, and that is purely intuitive, like I have no basis to tell you anything else about it except that I'm seeing a centaur, so I want to point to Sagittarius. The key to the healing is forgiveness. So this whole bottom section here, it's almost like if it's a separate event here from the top, right? Like whatever's happening externally is very successful. You're getting money, you're doing something you love, you're sharing knowledge, someone is sharing back with you, or, globally, just, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to summarize briefly here, concisely. Bottom row is a totally different either area of your life, domain, situation, or if it's internalized to you, you have a very, very different energy. I sense it more to be like a different area of your life, having to do with maybe someone in particular, but overall with your end state, right? How you're being left, how it affects you, and yeah, if the words that are coming are how you're being left. Not that someone is leaving you, I'm just saying like the state of things, right? Like, and so it's very undermining. Forgiveness. I'm glad I pulled this. That's the the advice, I guess. I hope it resonated. I'm sorry to have to deliver a more painful message here with the bottom cards, but this is what came through. At least this is how I'm seeing things. And please remember, only take what resonates, and you have free will. If there's anything that you feel is sort of speaking to you, but you feel you want a different outcome, it's all yours to change. So be mindful, stay positive as well, right? You've got amazing blessings up here that are worth focusing on and investing in. So I bid you good night. I will see you soon. Please share, like, subscribe. Take care.